Hello world, welcome to my YouTube channel. We are dealing with African biographies here. In this channel, we're talking about ubumba bantu that are prominent in Africa. I'm mostly focusing on African legends, actors, politicians. You guys can suggest the other people that you want to see. So I'm breaking down their lives, I'm researching. I'm particularly interested this week to talk about Connie Chume, a South African legend. So umama Connie Temekwa Gabisile Chume, she was born 5 June 1952. She was a South African actress and a filmmaker. She was known for her film roles in Black Panther, Black is King, and Blessers. On television, she appeared in Good is Nice, Yizo Yizo 2, Zone 14, Rhythm City, and Ukomora. Her early life. Chume was born on 5 June 1952 in the mining town of Welkom, which is in the Free State, South Africa. Kuhlala Basotho ke guys there. So she always spoke isiSotho. Her father, right, Tadeyo Chume, who died in 1983, was from Ngata Bay, Malawi, and her mother, Umamdlovu, who died also in 2022, hailed from KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. Her cousin, Ephraim Mganda Chume, is a Malawian politician. So, Umamu Chume, her parents met in KwaZulu-Natal and they fell in love there. Mamake was a Zulu lady and her father was Malawian. It's very funny how they met, but she grew up in Welkom. I'm not sure about the details of how they moved from KwaZulu-Natal to Welkom, but she was the fourth child. Chume spent her early childhood in Welkom. She completed her matric in the Eastern Cape and started training to become a nurse. However, she went on to graduate with a degree in teaching in 1976. In 1977, she left South Africa and became part of a touring musical group, visiting Greece and Israel with them. So let's first talk about how she became to train as a nurse. So Umam Chume knew, always known, that she wanted to be in the arts. She was passionate about the arts, but there were not a lot of opportunities in South Africa at that time. There were not a lot of drama schools for her to attend as a black person, because remember, before 1994 we didn't have a democracy and we didn't have the physical freedom to go anywhere in South Africa or to actually be accepted in other opportunities. They were reserved for the white South Africans. So she was in Welkom, but she also was in the Eastern Cape, which can explain her strong accent in isiXhosa and isiSotho. But she joked and she said that she was very, very afraid of speaking Ispedi. I'm guessing the pronunciation for her, because Ispedi, if you live in South Africa or have been in South Africa, you know, or in other African countries, you know that Ispedi, Istswana, isiSotho, they are very similar languages, just like isiXhosa, isiZulu, Iswati, and Isindebele. They are very similar. That's the nice thing about being in Africa. You learn one language and then you inherently have 4 languages or 3 languages, because our languages are very similar. So even if you don't speak the language, it's easy for you to hear the language. So she was multilingual, and most of us are in South Africa. So when her parents fell in love, her father, after 40 years of being in South Africa, he came when he was 18, Wengumfana, and he came and stayed in the hostel, and that's how she tells her story, in the hostel with his brothers, and they would stay there until they would get opportunities. And he was watching her mother from afar until he approached her, and they fell in love and they gave birth to children. After 40 years, he decided to go back to Malawi. When things were right at home, he always said that he was going to visit home with his children. So when things were good in Malawi, what he decided to do, he decided to go to court to get his children to go back with him. But the court did not allow the elderly children, because they already had South African citizenship. They already had their IDs, so they can make like their own decision whether they want to stay in South Africa or go back with them in Malawi. And Connie didn't want to go back to Malawi with her father, and she said her father wept because he wanted his children to go back to their homeland. And after that, she decided to because he was very sad about departing with his children, which worked out in his favor later on, because when they were in Malawi, Connie said her parents started to struggle and he became sick, and so she was able to assist them because she can make some coins, right? So she trained as a nurse, right? For those years, I think it was 2 years, yes. 2 years, and then she fell pregnant. When she fell pregnant, I guess back in the day, they were very strict with the nursing laws that if you fell pregnant, you were not allowed to go back to the program again. And that's how she got disqualified in the nursing program. After that, there was another opportunity because there were limited opportunities for black people. It was either teaching or lawyer or a nurse. So there were very few. It was not like the whites where they had like many privileges. So she went to train as a teacher, and she was offered, I think there were 5. Yes, she said that there were 5 people, and in one of the 5, 2 said no, we would want to do from first until second, and she was offered the opportunity to do the last year, train for 1 year as a teacher, and she did that, and she passed. She was a very brilliant, or she just dedicated herself. She passed and she became a teacher. So she spoke about what happened in 1976. If you are from South Africa or you know the African history, you know we have June 16, 1976. It was the uprising of the students. They were forced to learn things in Afrikaans, so they started resisting that education system, and many were killed, like Hector Peterson. So she was living in that time. I cannot imagine. And she was only 8 years old, guys. Imagine living in that time. It must have been hard for her. So however, moving on, after she became that teacher, there was an audition that she encountered. In that audition that she saw on the papers, she read the papers because we were not living in the social media. During that time, we were not living in the social media era. So what happened is she saw this in a written text, and she saw the audition. She knew that she had the talent, but she was not professionally trained. So she went to the audition. She was joking that there were people that we're adopting the American accent, like hello man, how you doing, what's going on. So she said she was lost. She was wearing high heels. She was there. So they were looking for dancers and they were looking for singers. So she said she gave it her best. When she gave it her best, she threw her heels on the side and she started dancing and she started singing, and they accepted her, which was good because we wouldn't have Umamukoni today, or her artistry, if I should say. So, and then she told them, hey, because if you are in the entertainment industry, you understand there should be callbacks when you're auditioning for things, where they ask you to come back again, audition, and they tell you later on if you accepted or not. And she was like, nah, I'm not going through that. Listen, I am a teacher, okay? And I have to know today, are you guys taking me or not? And that's how she got accepted on the spot for the job. And that's how she began her first traveling overseas to Greece and Israel. And that's how she left South Africa with that group. So when she got to the overseas, what happened is there was complications with the contract or the people that were managing them. And what happened is they only performed for 2 weeks. She was supposed to be there for 6 weeks. And remember, she left her child with some people in South Africa. And now she was earning 80 something rands a month as a teacher. That was back in the day. 80 something rands was a lot of money. And they were offering to pay her above 100 rands. And she took a week, and she took that opportunity because it was a lot of money for her at that time. And what happened is, after 2 weeks, she lost the gig and the others, but they refused to go back to South Africa because they were living in the apartheid era, remember? And they were in another country, and when they treated like celebrities, back in the day, they didn't have that term celebrities, but they were treated well. It was not like in South Africa. So they were not ready to come back home. So what they decided to do, they decided to sing in clubs, and she stayed there for 9 months, and one by one, they started returning home. And that's how she built her resume as an actress. So Chume began her acting career in roles in production of Pogi and Bess, Ipintombi, and The Little Shop of Horrors. She returned to South Africa as apartheid was ending. She was cast as Thembi in the 1989 series Inkomo Edla Yodwa, and then the 1990 film Warriors from Hell. In 2000, she won the award for Best Actress in a Drama Series at the South African Film and Television Awards, the SAFTAs. One thing that she said that stood out to me about the SAFTAs, I mean, I heard before that the SAFTAs, well, the award comes with money, but in an interview, she said that award don't come with nicks. It doesn't come with money. And she said that artists will spend money doing nails, makeup, hair, and they don't even get a compensation with the award. So the award is just there. And I was shocked to hear that. I was like, wait, what? So you don't get money with the award? And she said the award doesn't really mean much in South Africa, but she says she's still yet to be corrected by somebody. But she, according to her opinion, she said it doesn't matter in South Africa if you've won those awards, but in other countries it speaks volume, which is very sad because she was very talented and she was awarded several awards in South Africa. In 2006, she starred in the stage production of You Strike the Woman and You Strike a Rock, Watitumfazi Watindimbokoto. From 2007 to 2015, Chume gained prominence through her role as Stella Moloi in the SABC One drama series Zone 14, which earned her another SAFTA. So she won another award. She also received the award for the Best Supporting Actress in a Drama during the third SAFTA in 2015. She appeared in a soap opera Rhythm City as Mamokete Kuse. In 2018, Chume played Zawavari, the elder of a mining tribe, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe film Black Panther. She starred in the role again in the films 2022 in the sequel Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I haven't watched Wakanda Forever. I only know Black Panther. So maybe you can comment down below and tell me what do you think of Wakanda Forever. In 2020, Chume landed the role of Mamsoto Mofela in the drama series Gomorrah and appeared in Beyonce's film Black is King. In October 2020, she received the Feather Award nomination. In 2022, she received the Lifetime Achievement Award at the South African Film and Television Awards. So she was married from 1985 to 2004. She was a mother of 4 with 2 sons and daughter. And I'm using she was because she sadly passed away. So Umama Chume, when she talks about, there's not much about her personal life, like about her romantic life, but she did mention in an interview that she had enough. She had a couple of heartbreaks, and she had enough, and she was like, I'm leaving this man. But she did not go into detail why she left, but she was going through a lot and she was not treated well because she said, I'm the one that filed for divorce. Unfortunately, she died at the Garden City Hospital in Johannesburg on the 5th of August 2024 at the tender age of 72 years old. I mean, she was very young because she said in the interview, one of her interviews, that her father died in his 70s, and she mentioned that, oh my god, he was very young, and her mother died in her 90s. So she didn't even live to surpass that age, and I don't think she saw her death coming, to be honest, because if she regarded 70 as very young, I don't think it was even in her mind that she will just leave us like that. So her views on nationalism, she very sensitive when it comes to xenophobic attacks in South Africa, because her father, as I've mentioned, she's from Malawi. He's a Malawian descendant, and her mother is Zulu. So as much as she does not identify strongly with her Malawian heritage, because remember, she was born and bred in South Africa. She is very familiar with the South African culture, with how we do things here in South Africa. And hello, I am from South Africa. But she loved her Malawian heritage, and she went to visit there. And she said she looked like one of her family members. So she did not support nationalism. She did not support the tribalism. She wanted us to unite and be together. Like if you've watched my videos, go watch. I'll put it in the description below. Go watch the Huma Sikela and Mama Miriam Makeba, people that have experienced firsthand tribalism or the apartheid era. They are not supporters of nationalism. She wanted the industry to be open for people. So that's when I fell in love with her, because I was watching her on the behind the story, and Peltusa was the presenter, and there Peltusa was asking about the people that wanted to break through the industry and it was hard for them, and she was like, you need to kick the door open. If they don't let you in, you must kick the door open. And that speaks volumes for her. And she was talking about the mistreatment in the industry, like people that have studied drama but they are struggling to find work in the industry. And what does it mean to say open up the industry? Are you saying open up the industry because you don't want to pay people their worth? This is controversial, guys. You don't want to pay people their worth, so you just want anyone in the streets. Maybe they are not passionate, they just want to be famous. Or what about the people that have went to drama school and they have been in the industry for a very long time and they don't have work? I mean, there's so many politics around that. I have not made it as an actress in South Africa, so I don't wanna put myself in that position, but where I can get in trouble. I mean, I still want work, but I do hear them. Yes, I did go to drama school, but like also there are people where they can't afford to go to drama school. You know, it can be expensive, and there are a lot of people who are trying to audition and they can't get through the door. So is it bad for people to just stand in the line and they've never been educated when it comes to acting? Because herself, she was not professionally or informally trained as an actress. She was trained on stage and on set, and that's how she learned. So for me, it's a difficult thing. I don't really have much an opinion about it, because there are others that are coming before me, or they are still like in the same lane as I am, and they want to penetrate through, but they don't have the education, but they have the passion. And there are also others that have the education, but they don't have the passion. So it's a difficult thing. It's a really, really difficult thing. Moving on to her Black Panther experience. My goodness, the way she lights up her face when she's talking about her experience with Black Panther, the way she was treated. I mean, she said there's a huge difference in the treatment when it comes to the South African industry and American industry. She was saying in Hollywood they respect the talent. However, Taraji P. Henson and Monique will say a different thing when it comes to people of color. But her experience on Black Panther, I mean, she was giggly about it. She was, she said a limousine came to fetch her from Johannesburg. She flew business class, and her hotel things were there for her. She didn't have to ask for anybody. Doctors would visit her. People knew her. No one asked her who she was. They were like, hey Connie, and the director knew her. I mean, she was amazed at the experience she got, and she was so thankful, because not a lot of people from Africa will get that experience. Even in Hollywood, and even people in America, they don't get that experience. So she was in a very, very big production, and she raved about her experience as an actress. And she said when she came back from America, not a lot of things changed. Just because she was on Black Panther and she got that experience, she still went back to, she didn't have any trailer in the South African productions. She was still asking for things. She was still going to work by herself, no limousine. So she said the South African industry has a long way to go instead of improving how people are treated on set. I don't know. I don't own a production house, so I don't know whether it's the budget or the South Africans are just stingy and they don't have They have not been trained or care about talent the way that Hollywood cares about talent. But Black Panther was had a big budget. I think it had about 200 million dollars. So that was a lot of money. So they could afford to treat her like that. But if you're interested in watching her funeral, go to the channel Icebo Lethu group. You can subscribe. The funeral is very long. It's a 5-hour funeral, but if you want to know more about her and you have the time to spare, I mean, you can watch it while you're cleaning and doing your own things, you know? You don't have to like sit down for the whole 5 hours. Her trip to America, one time she became a waitress there. She visited America a couple of times because her child was getting education from America. So one time she was like, Mama Connie was very humble. She was not high up there. She did not esteem herself above others. She saw herself as equal to others. So, and she said being a waitress in America was not something that was shunned upon. Actually, they were at that time they were paying waitresses $6 per hour, but she was paid $11 per hour, and that's how much moolah she was making. I mean, that's very impressive. I don't know much. I mean, I've never earned $6. How much is $6? I think $6 is six times 20. So she was making a lot of money during that time. But after some time she got tired and she came back to the South African industry. So Mam Connie has a lot of things that she did during her time on earth. She had a foundation, the Connie Chume Foundation, empowering arts for social change. So global network for collaboration. The Connie Chume Foundation establishes a global network for collaboration among members of the artistic and development communities, and they have been recognized and rewarded for their works. It reads, we recognize and reward those initiatives that utilize the arts and artists in development projects, particularly those aimed at education. Our foundation values the importance of art in achieving sustainable development. The Connie Chume Foundation provides fundraising opportunities, training, and awards to help support empower artists who are working towards social change through the arts. So she did a lot of work to help people, and also being a freelancer is difficult in South Africa. She spoke a lot about that, where you will have worked for 3 months or for 6 months, and in that next 6 months you don't have employment. So it's hard to sustain yourself. And she was speaking about people who were saying that artists don't know how to save. And she was saying, if you're a freelancer and you only got a job for 6 months, and the next 6 months or to a year you're not gonna have employment, how far can you stretch that money to sustain yourself? So it spoke the truth, because a lot of artists are broke, and this is why they are broke, because the work is not permanent. So she was also in a union back in the day fighting for actors, and she said during that time they earned royalties, and today they don't earn royalties. And the union started to break, because what happened is, after the soapy industry started picking up, people became very relaxed, because their contracts were contracts for a year. So people that they were fighting, they would also go to these production houses for work, so they would be refused work. So she preached a lot about, actually, the people that are supposed to be fighting for the actors are not supposed to be acting in the industry, because it's very tough for them to be accepted for work, because now you are an activist, and then tomorrow you are here begging for help from the same production, which is, I can imagine. But there is Saga today, and they are trying, but there are difficulties there and there, and I am a member of Saga. So her theater experience, she has an extensive career in the theater, performing in several plays such as Sola, Pogi, Best, Little Shops of Horror, Umzumba, Somdaka, Carnivals, Ipintombi, as I've mentioned before. And I have watched her. I loved her on Black Panther, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the pride, I think it's because I'm a little bit biased, because in Black Panther she spoke my native tongue is closer, and I was like, oh my god. But she spoke Isotho a lot. That's her main language of conversating with people. But on Black Panther, it was isiXhosa, and she spoke it so well. I mean, I thought she was a Xhosa woman, but hey, I'm not tribalistic here. Many South Africans can speak isiXhosa very well, even though it may not be their mother tongue. And that's it, people. Before I end it, I wanted to read something that her husband, second one, besides the one she divorced, there was a one husband where she married him in 2021, and he was not allowed to be in the funeral planning of Connie, and he spoke out about that. I thought that was interesting. Why didn't the family invite the husband to plan the funeral? I mean, is there a scandal? The family didn't like him. What's going on? What's going on with Connie's family, which was very interesting. And sometimes when family members don't allow someone to actually to bury or to be part of the planning, something in the waters. So he said, despite being left out in the cold in the planning of funeral arrangements for legendary actress Connie Chume, her American husband David Joseph Jr. has issued a heartfelt video tribute to his wife. Joseph, who married the actress in Louisiana in the U.S. on August 26, 2021, did not attend Chume's memorial ceremony or her funeral at Oasis of Life Family Church in Davidton, Ekurhuleni. That's interesting. The 72-year-old actress died at the Garden City Hospital after a short illness. So in this video, Joseph is based in Donaldsonville, Louisiana, shares that he intends to uplift and support everyone with the loss. Quote, I didn't just lose a wife, I lost a friend and an angel. Connie has many talents. I believe one of the biggest was preventing me from missing my flight to and from South Africa in relocation to the United States. Our love story that started in the early 1980s is one for the books, and the bond that we share was always unique but strong. It didn't matter where my life was in the world. She knew that Joe would be there, and like many of you, I am broken. I will find comfort and peace in knowing that my wife loved me and lived love every day. My sweet Connie, I want you to know that I want to be with you today, but know that Joe will keep you, your joy, your laughter forever in his heart. Rest on, my baby. Joseph last saw Chume physically on New Year's Eve before she had to return to South Africa to begin filming. I mean, this is interesting. This is shady, interesting and shady. And his niece Kila Dominique told IOL that her uncle was not allowed to take part in the planning of the memorial service or the funeral. Oh my God. Okay, guys, what do you think? Why wasn't this guy invited to the funeral? I mean, invited in the planning of the funeral or the memorial service? Do you know why? But I guess she loved him or was interested in him. The fact that she actually married him. Okay, but in closing, I want to say that thank you guys for listening to and watching this video. I love this woman so much, and she has inspired me so much. Also, as you know, a black woman in Africa, and also just as a human. So thank you so much, and please tell me what other African prominent figures would you like me to cover next. Thank you so much. Stay safe out there. And remember to subscribe, to like, to share, and to comment. Thank you so much. This is Xavier Gumehlo, and these are African Biographies. Peace out.